Great. Well, this afternoon on Northern Powerhouses Business Success Stories, we've got Darren Good of GoodSense Training. Darren, if you'd just like to introduce yourself to the people that might be watching, what you do and how you help people, that would be wonderful.
Okay, so as you rightly said, my name's Darren Good and I run GoodSense Training. We teach people how to deal with difficult and potentially aggressive or violent people, the strategies for dealing with them to make people safe in the workplace. And we teach soft skills, hard skills, and also use legal frameworks to explain what you can and can't do and give people the confidence and strategies to deal with those difficult people.
Goodness, that must be, I would imagine that's quite interesting, exciting and challenging all rolled into one.
Yeah, it's most definitely interesting because we're dealing with people's personalities, working out how people tick. And as you know, we're still learning about how people tick, and there's so much to learn. And it's such an important and really interesting subject matter. And there's the law as well, just understanding the law and how it empowers people to make quick decisions under pressure. And then there's all the physical skills that we teach as well.
I mean, it's fascinating. I guess we're going to talk a bit about coming through the COVID outbreak and stuff. And I noticed that you do quite a lot of work with, different government organisations. It'd be good to get later on how that's worked. But looking back over the COVID outbreak over the last I think it's nearly 9 months now. How has the outbreak affected you?
Well, at first it was a massive shock. I mean, I've been in business a long time, and January, February this year, we were so busy. I thought I'd completely sussed business out, and I thought, this is it. I totally now understand how businesses work and how to be really successful. And then suddenly, obviously, COVID-19 came along, and we lost something like 150 courses in 72 hours. So I went from being extremely busy to having no business at all in the diary. So no work at all. And obviously at that point, I didn't know about any help that we were going to be getting from the government. So it took probably about a week of pulling my hair out to sort of re-engage and work out what I was going to do about it. But things have moved on. We're doing okay now. We're not quite out the other side, but we're certainly having some really good wins.
Well, that's great to hear, and obviously it'd be good to talk about those a bit later. And I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I've in business been through. This has probably been the third recession I've been through, and or potential recession. And for me, often it's surviving is a massive win. Just getting through it is sometimes. I mean, in some businesses we work with, many on these interviews are growing really well as a result of things they've changed, but. For me, just getting through it is a win in itself. But what are some of the adaptations you've had to make?
So, I mean, people can probably guess, but we've now developed our training to be online. So we deliver virtual online training. And the thing is, it's our customers that are asking for that training. So rather than creating something people didn't want, we kept engaged with our customers and waited for them to ask for something. And when they asked, we said, yes, we could do it, and then worked out how to do it. So we've pretty much sussed how to, and we're still learning, of course. When I say sussed, I mean, we're doing pretty effective training, but every course we're getting better and learning as we go along. But we're now delivering training via Zoom, delivering training via Microsoft Teams, and we have an online e-learning portal that we use as well called Sign Up, which is fantastic, and we use that as well. So we're delivering online training, which is live interactive training, and then people are going off and doing a bit of e-learning and then coming back to us as well. And so it's going backwards and forwards. We didn't want to be just another e-learning company. We wanted to offer something much more interactive than that. But I suppose the take-home message was keeping in touch with our customers and then responding to their new needs, if you like, moving forward. And we turned this around quite quickly. So yeah.
I'm keen to know if there's any of the aspects of the training that you've dealt with specifically, whether if you can share it, if there is anything related to COVID. I guess that whole situation, I would imagine, can create different types of conflict or even types of stresses in organisations. Has there been anything specific to the whole COVID situation that you've had to deal with your training?
Well, the thing about conflict is there's always been conflict there in the background, and there's certain things that are obviously happening at the moment that's increasing the amount of conflict out there. Now, many of our clients were sort of putting training on the back burner at first because obviously they wanted to get their own house in order as far as COVID-19 is concerned. But the thing is, health and safety never disappears. It's always got to be there. So many of our clients are now coming back and asking for the training because not only is there an audit trail and they need to be shown they're doing it, but they actually definitely need the training because there is more conflict out there. And we're finding new ways of being able to deliver that. We also deliver physical skills, and we've now found a way with PPE of delivering the physical skills as well with PPE.
Wowzers, that's brilliant. That's great to hear. So what are some of the biggest issues you've had to overcome to get to where you are now from where you were at the beginning of March?
Well, I mean, I'm an old school trainer, if you like, so I've always delivered face-to-face training. So I suppose the first issue was getting my head around, number one, having to deliver online training, and then number two, how to do it, and then actually practicing and actually doing it. So there's it's a mind. I mean, you mentioned mindset already, I think, and I suppose it's a complete different mindset and learning how to do things differently, and going through all the frustrations of that hasn't worked, I need to try that again, and just burning the midnight oil, learning how to do things in a different way. The material we're delivering is the same, but the way it's delivered and packaged is completely different. So, I mean, I would say perseverance has been one of the main elements of getting through COVID for me. I could quite easily have given up when trying to work out different ways of delivering what we do.
And that could be, I mean, that's totally understandable. As you say, if we're used to that physical environment, I guess, to be frank, we were too with the training. Most of our training and coaching was done face to face, and it's going from how can I to how can I guess, and then the answers come to us, and I'm sure you like us have had to sort of learn a whole new bunch of skills to take things online. So you mentioned some wins. So what wins are some of the ones you've seen so far?
In terms of wins, so we've got some other clients on board that we didn't have before. So we went from having a lot of work to having no work, and then some of our clients were coming back, but other clients have come to us that have asked whether we can do the training virtually or online or with PPE. So that's one of the biggest wins. And of course, as well, with delivering online, what I have noticed, and it took me a little bit by surprise, is my outgoings have vastly come down. So when we had a lot of training coming in, I had a lot of money coming in and a lot of money going out.
Yeah.
Now we don't have as much money coming in, but we have a lot less money going out.
Really?
So the profitability of the business has actually gone up at the moment, and obviously living at home, I don't need as much money because I'm not going anywhere at the moment. So there's a real mindset change in terms of actually what you need to be bringing into the business as well.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess following on from that, what adjustments will you keep on after we get back to whatever a new normal looks like? What's it be like for you?
Well, rather than just delivering face-to-face training, we will be delivering face-to-face training, whether it be with or without PPE, depending obviously on the vaccine situation and what happens with herd immunity moving forward. And then we'll be offering online training, which will be totally interactive. It's like a face-to-face course, but it's online, and then e-learning components as well. So rather than being just a face-to-face or an e-learning company, we're going to be face-to-face, online, and e-learning. So three different options there moving forward.
Brilliant. That sounds very exciting, and thereby expanding your marketplace. So
absolutely.
It's great to hear so many. We're speaking to so many great businesses like yours, where we've actually embraced the change and created new opportunities, as opposed to, and let's be quite clear, it would be okay for anyone to, to some extent, especially your situation, having lost so much business, to have our head in their hands for a long period of time. But clearly you've just said, right, how are we going to make a change? What we're willing to do, and gone and done it. And so I guess if you go back to March, and you're thinking about when we sort of first went into the situation, what is there anything you'd have done sooner? In the wonderful thing of hindsight, what might you have done sooner?
Well, I think all the things that I've done have all made sense. I guess I could have started that process a little bit earlier, but the thing is that you don't always sometimes have the time to do those things. I guess what COVID did was give me that time to do the things that, to a certain extent, I was probably putting off a little bit, because I knew that training was going to become online, but I didn't realize how quickly it was going to become online. So I'd have done everything that I've done. I'd have just done it a little bit earlier, that's all. So I could have hit the ground even quicker, sooner.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great, hindsight's a great question. So it's a slightly unfair question. It's just interesting to see, in certain cases whether there was something that stands out. So I guess obviously we've gone into a second lockdown. What's your reaction, and yours, your business, and your clients' reaction to the second lockdown?
Well, the thing about the second lockdown is we already know what to do. And, if there's a third lockdown, we know what to do. First lockdown, I didn't know what to do. I had to work it out. We now have worked it out. So I can now work with a lockdown or without a lockdown. I can work either way. It doesn't matter. No difference at all.
It's great. I mean, isn't it great to have sort of gone through this process and just be so comfortable with the fact that it doesn't matter, because we don't know what the future holds. And I think, meant for many businesses, ours, and it sounds like yours, it's like we're doing things that we definitely could have done without the outbreak, and probably should have done. It's just accelerated. And that's so, that is a real positive, I think, that we've taken ourselves in and used the advancements of technology, because this technology has been around for a little while, certainly pre-COVID, and I think we've enhanced sort of 6 years in the first 6 months of COVID, and that's, I think, to most of ours benefit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess the other thing as well is that even if I had done that, the customer might not have been ready for it. The difference is now the customer actually wants what we've got to offer. I mean, there's two sides. There's creating a product and then having somebody who wants that product. So I guess I could have created that product earlier, but it would have been quite hard to sell it at the time. Now they're asking. So I guess it's push-pull as well.
Yeah, great point.
In terms of marketing.
Perfect. So the situation has created a new market for non face-to-face services, which you built. Right. Oh, wonderful. So let's go forward, and whenever we get back to whatever a new normal ever looks like. Yeah. What are you most looking forward to in the future?
Well, I mean, the clue's behind me. We all eat the truth. I mean, I love travel. So the thing I've probably missed the most is traveling. So going back to some sort of new normal types of holidays, if you like. So I haven't had a holiday as such this year. So since COVID-19 started, I've had my head down creating a new type of business with different ways of doing what we do. But at some point, I'd like to actually get my head up and go, right, what's out there in terms of a break or a holiday. I've had a few weekends away. I've done some walking in the mountains and stuff, but I haven't been away for a traditional holiday break. That's probably what I miss the most.
Brilliant. Well, you and I are the same. It's, I was lucky enough. I was so fortunate to get out to Canada just skiing just before I think I got back about the 7th of March, and it was just by total coincidence. But even now, I'm the same as you. I love to travel. So where would you, if you could jump on a plane today, where would be the first place you go to?
Well, that's not easy for me to answer, because I've made myself. I've got a quest that I want to see at least 100 different countries, and I've been to more than 50 so far. But I've also worked out that to actually achieve that, I probably need to go on quite a few cruises. I'd probably book a Caribbean cruise would probably be my next thing, and maybe spend not this Christmas, because obviously this Christmas is going to be very different for everybody, but maybe next Christmas I'd probably like to spend it in the Caribbean.
Brilliant. Well, if you need anyone to carry your bags, just give us a shout. So, what have you learned about yourself over this period? What's been some of the things I would imagine you, like many of us, have had to look inside as well as outside. What have you learned?
For a guy of my age who's not a geek, that IT's not as scary as I thought it was. So I've always known that I've been very full of perseverance. My background before martial arts was athletics. I used to train every day. So perseverance is quite the norm for me. And it's probably one of the reasons that I've managed to go through all sorts of different problems within business and come out the other side. But I guess the area that I probably found the scariest was adapting and embracing IT, because when I went to school, we didn't do computer science or computer studies at school. So I think that's the area that I don't think IT is quite as scary as I thought it was. And I'm getting my head around. Still got to work on it, and still can improve on it. But I think that's probably the biggest learn for me.
Brilliant. I personally find the wonderful world of Google sort of helps me a lot. There seems to be a video on just about anything that any particular challenge that I need is typically there. Great point. And I had a tech business many years ago, but I have no idea about technology anymore. I have to be. I'm right alongside you with actually having to learn things, and just embrace, as you say, embrace the technology that's available to us. So I guess again, looking forward, what challenges, if any, do you see moving forward as we get into next year? Hopefully, as you say, vaccine, herd immunity. What challenges might face you?
I think the issue is going to be is that obviously all our training was suddenly cancelled, and some of our customers will probably all come back pretty much at the same time. So the confidence in the marketplace, there's obviously confidence already with the online training. But there'll be confidence with the face-to-face training that will probably arrive pretty much at the same time. So it's going to be managing that. It's going to be managing the expectations of our customers in terms of delivering training for them in a very short space of time. And the thing is, some of my trainers that have worked for me as well, some of them have gone off to do other things because obviously the training stopped for nearly 6 months.
Yes.
So at the moment, I'm going to obviously need to recruit new trainers as well.
Yep.
So recruiting new trainers that need to be obviously at a standard that we're used to, and to keep those standards as high as they already are, and then keeping all our customers happy when they want the same training course on the same day, the same trainer as they have in the past. So I think that's one of the challenges moving forward.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, it's funny, isn't it? Because you sort of it's a challenge to have too much demand. It really is to manage the demand that can create, but being ready for it is the key thing then, isn't it? So if we can see our challenges, typically we can overcome them more easily than the ones we can't see, like this whole outbreak thing was something that none of us really could foresee. I know perhaps governments were planning for it, but I don't know if it was in your mind or not. But
definitely not.
No, it's not expected. Be interested to see how our behaviours change back, how quickly, or whether or not there is a mindset that this might be the first of a number over time, and if so, do we need to change the fundamental behaviours of contact and social distancing? I'd be interested to know what. I've really no idea what we'll do, but interesting to see. Behaviours tend to leak back to where they were over time, we find. But
I mean, we know from evidence of people winning the lottery that they go ballistic for about 2 years and then go back to where they were before.
Yes.
So I would guess that the extroverts in the world will go out and go mad when we come out the other side. We've got herd immunity, and the introverts will probably go even more introvert. So I've got an IT guy who works for us who's fairly introverted. He likes this new world of working from home. So I guess that some people will embrace that and not want to change because they've seen this new world that they like, and maybe suits their personality. So there might be a bit of a split. The extroverts want to go out more, and the introverts want to stay in more.
Yeah, almost like a polarization. That's interesting. The idea. Yeah. Okay. So, so I guess just in terms of your business and your future success, what's the future look like for you and the business?
So I think the future is probably more of a hybrid training solution. So giving our clients more choice. Do you want face-to-face training? Do you want face-to-face training with PPE? Do you want online training and interactive training, or do you want e-learning training? What training do you want? So I think we're going to have more streams of income, if you like, and more different types of offer for our clients moving forward. And then when we press the Google button, then we can scale up much quicker.
Yeah, I mean that is the benefit of. I mean, certainly looking at the online world, it does give us scalability, gives us potential global reach. It does really start make you think about what we could achieve, even from where we are right now. When we've got that knowledge and expertise that is valuable to our clients, our current clients, and our future clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Darren, that was just wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing some of your successes. Is there any last thoughts on anything we've talked about so far, or any other topics?
No, all I can say is if anybody's interested in talking to us, you can find my web address, good-sense.co.uk. Contact us, and I'm sure we can help you in some way.
Brilliant, thank you. And we'll put your contact details in the details with the interview as well. And thank you so much for sharing. I know you're a busy guy at the moment with everything's going on, so I really appreciate you taking the time to share where you are and where you're going. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.